Welcome to the Truth Club, the podcast where two best friends have a good laugh, possibly a cry, about the things that matter and the things that don't. You're now a Truth Club VIP with an access all areas pass to our honest opinions. So here they are. Oh, and we're your hosts, Alyssa, Kyria, that's me, and my comedy wife, Smallman. This podcast is recorded on Zoom, as we can't be in the same room as each other because of lockdown. So the sound may be a bit crap at times, but hopefully you'll forgive us for that, as we will be so hilarious and entertaining.
Hello, and welcome to the Truth Club. My name is Carly. This is my lovely bestie, Alyssa.
Hello!
And we're here to tell the truth. You sounded very Irish today. How are you doing?
I'm all right, my darling. I'm all right. It's a big day. So we're recording this on the 5th of March, 2021, which is officially the last day of homeschooling for most people. So I'm feeling a bit bizarre, but very good. Thank you, my love. How are you feeling today?
I'm all right. I feel quite bored now being in lockdown, and I keep finding strange things to do. I'm currently trying to train my dog how to look me in the eye. That's how bored I am. I don't want him to do a trick. I don't want him to do anything good or useful. I just want him to look at me. That's how much I crave attention now.
Well, so if your dog's looking at you, you're getting some attention. I understand that. You're living alone in lockdown. You need some people to look at you. And if it's no people, it's a dog. And also, you are doing strange things, babe, because you were messaging me the other day and you were watching some bizarre stuff on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Like, share what you've been watching.
Okay, right. Okay, there's a few weird things I like to watch on YouTube. I find them soothing. I have anxiety problems. And the first thing I like to watch is planner videos, which are mostly American ladies flicking through their filofaxes and showing you. I can't believe I'm saying this on the podcast. I'm never going to have sex again.
Truth of Carly, let's get it out now. Come on now.
I've got to tell. I know you're right. I've got to tell the truth. They flick through their planners and they show you basically what's in their filofax, like how they keep their diary and their shopping list.
Oh, you love it.
I fucking love it. They're like, hi guys, welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe. Today I'm going to be showing you the Filofax Napa in cream and brown. And we're going to be going through how I organize my kids' rotas. And anyway, it's
quite hypnotizing their voices. Is it that?
Yes.
Yeah, and the way they turn the pages is the little sound.
Yes.
I completely understand that.
It's so dull. But also interesting. Like, I like to see their planners. It's so boring though. But I love a planner. I've got one inspired by these videos. But it's so boring that it calms me. It calms my anxiety. But the thing I was watching the other night, so Alyssa was like texting me. She was having a party for one. She was having wine. She was having a great time, being really cool. She was like, "What are you up to?" And I had to reply, I'm watching videos of a born-again Christian lady in Texas washing her hair.
And listeners, I was worried.
I love her.
I have to say, what on earth, Carly? Why are you watching her washing her hair? She's brilliant at it, obviously, is she?
She's fucking amazing at washing her hair. She's called Swavy Curly Courtney. I think you should all check her out. I love her.
Her name is Wavy Courtney.
Swavy Curly Courtney. Swavy. I don't know what a swave is. But she's swavy. I think she's trying to sound cool, but she's not. She's not cool. But I love her. I'm subscribed to her. She's amazing. Every time she puts a new hair washing video out, I'm right there. What's some sad shit that you've been up to this week? Can we take the attention off how crap I am?
I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you, really. I love it. I just thought it was that you're watching this woman washing. But whatever gets you through lockdown, people, whatever gets you through lockdown. And so speaking of which, I think we've heard some of Carly's, I don't know, there might have been highlights. Who knows if there were lowlights? We'll find out in a minute. But let's go to our highlights and lowlights of the week. Highlights and lowlights. Yay, right.
Yeah. Fabulous. Wifey, why don't we start with you? Highlights and lowlights of the week, babe.
Okay, so highlight of the week is, as I mentioned, today is the last day of homeschooling. For me, it was actually yesterday because my mum has Lola today. So this is huge. This is absolutely huge for me. I can't express it to you all how much I'm just so excited about this. It just means I might actually get some time for myself. It means I'm not trying to force positivity and teaching maths through a screen to Lola, and Lola just saying, "You're not very good at maths, are you, mummy? You don't like teaching me, do you, mummy?" It's just hell. And I'm just so excited that it's over. We called it Snuggle School. It was pretty cute at times, to be fair, but it's time for me to be just mum and Lola to go back to school. And it's happened. It's here. So shout out to all the homeschooling parents, because the day has finally come. So that's definitely a highlight for me. Lowlight was I got some scales this week, which attached to an app. They're snazzy scales, and they tell you all different lovely information. And I stepped on the scales and attached the app, and the reading was body type beefy, Carls. Beefy.
What does beefy mean?
Well, it doesn't sound good, does it?
I don't know, because
I don't think they mean athletic.
It's positive when, like, say a beef cake is like a muscly piece of beef.
Well, yeah, okay, I'll see it like that. Like I'm like
you're a beefcake.
I'm a hot cow. So beefy, and then body result obese. Oh, stop! I'm blushing. And then it was a muscle mass excellent, and
good
skeletal mass insufficient. So I'm a beefy, obese, muscly person with no bones. Apparently.
Oh my god, you've got an insufficient skeleton. How are you upright? How are you not just a mass of beef on the floor?
Floppy bit of beef. I'm just basically, what am I, a burger?
You're a burger.
I'm a puddle of beef on the floor.
I love a burger. That's so funny. I do love burgers. Do you know what? I actually don't weigh myself anymore. I just think it's healthier. I just think it's healthier. I don't want to be told I'm a beef burger. And you know what? Today is apparently World Obesity Day. So it's a day for you and I.
I've joined the crew. I've been there for a while. It's official now.
Join the crew. We're having a great time. The buffets are excellent.
I bet. The buffet. Well, is there a World Obesity Day?
Yeah.
That we could go to with a buffet.
I love it. Let's buy some cake to celebrate World Obesity Day. I'm for it. I'm happily obese.
Well, I mean, me too. We're going to do an episode, aren't we, about the truth about our bodies. So we tune in for that at some point. Carly Smallman, what are your highlights and lowlights, my darling?
Okay, I'm worried that my highlights and lowlights, they're not as exciting as yours. My highlight is that a new program has come out on Netflix called Canine Intervention. And it's a really sexy man training dogs. Now the man is he's exactly my type. He's tall, he's muscular, he's black and has an American accent. Ooh. So absolutely my type. But and dogs. It's literally my two favorite things. Men I want to fuck and dogs.
Wow.
And I think Netflix have actually made this for me specifically. Anyway, that was my highlight of the week. I reckon that I just watched that now. That's all I do.
And Christian women washing their hair.
He trains like attack dogs, and I find it so sexy when he's like commanding an attack dog. I don't know why. I haven't had sex for a long time because of lockdown, and I'm being COVID safe. Yeah, and also that doesn't
collar on and go on all fours, Carls.
No, I just want to watch him train attack dogs. Like I want the actual attack dog. It's not a sex game. Okay, I just want to see him, like, I don't know, using dogs to attack others. I find it hot. Okay, this is my genuine low light. This isn't a funny thing. This is Truth Club after all. I got really badly bloated the other day, and it was so painful. I was walking around my house. I felt really uncomfortable. And you know, when the TV's off, it basically acts like a mirror of hell. You catch your like lower body walking past a lot. I walked past the mirror. I swear to fucking God, I looked about 9 months pregnant. I was so bloated that my tummy was like, it looked really out of proportion. Anyway, and I spent the whole day looking like that and feeling really uncomfortable. So it's not a funny low light, but it was
true low light.
It was a true low light. It was really sore. And then the worst part was I went to visit my parents because they were in Bubbled with, and my mum kept telling me off and telling me I needed to do a poo and kept feeding me like she gave me like some kind of, I don't know what it was. It was like a fiber husk in water. And it was just, the whole thing was blown out of all proportion. My whole family were talking about it.
Oh.
And I just wanted to be bloated in peace.
Yeah.
I just needed a burp. I just needed a burp.
Telling you to go for a poo and feeding you fiber husks.
No, I'm 35 years old. I don't need anyone to tell me when to shit. Do it when I damn well choose.
Do it by yourself, Carls.
I'm a big girl now.
You're a big girl.
So that was my highlight and lowlight of the week.
Oh, amazing.
So let's get down to it. Now, I feel like this is quite an important truth club. Maybe I'm over egging it and overinflating my own importance, because this week we're going to be doing the truth about my fanny. Not my fanny, both our collective fannies. Alyssa doesn't have much to say about my personal fanny. She's never seen it. Oh. She's my best friend. All my friends have seen me pee. They've all seen my fanny. But I thought this was really important to talk about because we are living in a world that sort of makes us think it's disgusting to talk about that particular part of our body. And if I was discussing an issue with like my arm, or if I'd broken my ankle, or if I had anything else wrong, I would feel comfortable to talk about it with my friends. But there's a kind of shame associated with women's troubles that I just think there shouldn't be. So I think we should get on that and just talk about ourselves, and hopefully that will make you feel, you dear listener, feel comfortable and confident to talk about it with your mates. Because wifey, I know that you are you're not looking forward to this one, are you?
No, and it's but it's for that reason, and so I'm glad we're doing this as well. But I feel embarrassed talking about it. When you suggested doing the truth about our fannies, I was like, oh, I don't talk about that. No. And I feel like, God, it's actually such a sort of a strange way to feel, because you're right. It's a body part, and it's an amazing body part. It's like that.
It does loads.
There's loads of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, multifunctional,
multi-talented. If you've listened to some of my exes. Sorry, something only, but that was that.
But not your husband. I love that you're not your husband.
I don't want to say it. My poor husband. He doesn't get a mention.
Yeah, you just knocked him out.
He won't remember. But yeah, you don't, and I think both of us have had loads of trouble and stuff which we'll get into, dear listener, and I just don't think people talk about that stuff enough, because like Carly said, there's shame around it, and also you're just meant to just put up with it. I think as a woman you just feel that aspect. So yeah, let's get into it. Truth Club, Carls. Truth about our fannies.
Truth about our fannies.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Do you want me to start talking about would you feel more comfortable if I just started talking about my fanny first, or would you like to get straight into it?
I feel like you do talk about your fanny quite a lot and quite open.
I do.
And I think that's great. You even on stage, dear listener, Carly does a bit where she kind of gives her fanny a voice and chats to herself.
It needs a voice.
Between her and her fanny, and it's great. So yeah, take it away, Carls. And
okay.
I'm next.
I might just start talking about the problems with my fanny first, and then we can talk about all the wonderful things that it does, because I do think that they do also do wonderful things, but for some reason me and Alyssa have had some bad luck with ours. So when I was about 14, I think, or 15, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is an endocrine disorder that causes like irregular periods. It makes you really hairy. It makes you really fat, even if you eat like a sort of normal hashtag, quote unquote normal amount of calories. And some poor women, like their hair falls out, and that's like my worst nightmare. I could cope with growing a beard, but I couldn't cope with my hair falling out. So this happened. It's a really, really common disorder. I think it's like something like 1 in 10 women have it, and a lot of women don't even know they have it.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of women don't know they've got it until they start having trouble conceiving. So, because it can give you problems in that area. But I remember going for those appointments, and my mum was she obviously was trying to help me, but she was being really forceful about it. And at that age, you're so like overwhelmed by your body changing anyway and getting periods in the first place, that everyone else talking about your body like you almost aren't even there or have a choice was very overwhelming for me. And I was kind of being passed around between doctors, and my mum was talking on my behalf to doctors, and I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand it at that age because I was little and I didn't really really know about it. So from that age, I was basically having like internal like vaginal scans. I have had so many people look up there. It's like I think I've had as many people look up there medically as I have had sexually. And I've had sex with a lot of people.
Oh, that's
So
something.
yeah, so I for a long time was very embarrassed about it all, and I wouldn't say anything about it. And one of the symptoms that I get really badly is I get very painful periods, really painful. And I think, as you were saying, people sort of diminish women's period pains. We're expected just to go to work, and some days I actually would be struggling to walk. Like it would hurt and it would be uncomfortable to walk or move around. And yet we're just expected to take 2 paracetamol and pretend that we're fine, when it's actually quite excruciating sometimes. And I would find it very embarrassing to talk about it, when actually I'm very lucky. Like if I was so much in pain, I would take a day off. But when you're, 20, you don't know, because no one was talking about it. Also, it was a different time. No one was talking about it back then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
people don't you feel like you can't say anything, and if you do, they're like, oh god, women's troubles, or just suck up. And can't talk about it, 2 can't moan about it, not allowed to moan about it. It's not a real pain, it's not a real thing, because it's something, like you said, we just have to deal with, and that's it.
Do you think if men bled out their dicks, there would be like a period day written into the employment contract?
Oh my God, there would be like a period celebration day for all the poor men every year, to celebrate what they go through. They would be written into their holiday would be written into their contract, so they could absolutely take period days. Oh God, there would be therapists on site. There would be everything.
They'd have baths, warm baths available in office blocks.
Absolutely, massages, and National Days of celebration. Absolutely. But we are just supposed to go, oh no, it's nothing really.
Yeah, nothing really. I shan't talk about it. And the other thing I don't like about the way the world treats periods is, if you're on your period, you're not allowed to have genuine sad or angry emotions about anything, because it's dismissed as just being your period.
Yes.
When sometimes it is your period, but sometimes it's real. And I hate how people will say, oh, well, she's on her period. Yeah. You think, but she might actually be angry as well. She might actually be tearful.
Heighten the anger or the emotion, but the reason is still there. I mean, occasionally, yes, it will just be about nothing, because, I'm just feeling that kind of, hormonal, emotional.
Yeah.
But there's real points there. There's real anger. And we should not be, our opinions cast off because we're on our periods. Absolutely not. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I found it very difficult. I actually, with my PCOS, my periods have been a sort of they're fine now. They're quite regular now, but they've been like a source of fucking misery through my life. I once went for a year without a period.
Oh, wow.
And then I also went for 6 weeks with a period. And every now and then I'll just get like a random 2 or 3 week period, which luckily it's leveling off as I get older. But my 20s, oh God, I didn't know what was going to happen next down there. I was on high alert.
Oh, poor thing. And so were you able to, like, did you know anyone else with PCOS when you were like back in your 20s, or is it more like
I probably did.
Yeah.
I probably did, but no one talked about it.
Wow.
That was the problem. Whereas now I have some very good friends with PCOS who talk about it, and I feel so much better. That's why I think this was such an important episode to do.
Definitely.
Is because I feel so much better about it. Like I actually feel like I can talk about things with people. Like I have a moustache, like a Mexican man's moustache, like a full, thick, yes, I do. And everyone thinks I don't because I'm so fair and blonde.
It's blonde or bloody.
I wax it off because that's my PCOS, my hormonal problem. I'm very fair, very blonde. I've got fair hairs on my arms. That's why no one thinks I'm hairy. But if I was to grow it out, I would look like Tom Selleck. and that's who I am.
Listen, Tom. I mean, bless you. The hairy thing is outrageous. I have that anyway. I haven't got PCOS, but I am half Greek, so I'm a complete hairy woman, and I get more hairy when I'm due on my period. So it's just like a hormonal thing.
Yes.
And I used to get teased relentlessly for having hair on my face, and now I laser that shit off. But it's awful because you feel embarrassed, and these are all symptoms of something that you can't control. Obviously, it's a horrible thing, and you don't know, you can't talk about the PCOS. You're embarrassed about your body hair. You're embarrassed about all the things that are coming with it. So that's been horrible for you to go through, darling.
Yeah, it was shit. It was really, really shit.
Totally shit.
And also, you'd feel like it was your fault because one of the symptoms of PCOS is that you're just fat. You're fat unless you go on a very, very specific diet, which I have looked into, and it's miserable. It would make my life feel miserable. It's very, very, very restrictive medical diet. And sorry, my dog is squeaking. Indy, come and sit on my lap if you want.
Indy doesn't want you to go on this very strict medical diet either.
No. And I looked into it, and I thought, and I had to make that decision. Like, so you feel embarrassed about things. You go see a doctor, and they would say, well, you have to lose weight. Your PCOS will improve if you lose weight. But the problem is losing weight on PCOS, where it might take someone like a week to lose a pound, it could take me a month to lose a pound. So it's very like demotivating and demoralizing, and that's a month of like strict dieting and exercise. And I came to the conclusion in the end, I actually am happier when I'm just fat, and I'm not restricting my food or making myself have a miserable life. I'll just be fat and have problems up my fanny, have ovaries covered in cysts. I went for another internal scan this week, and the woman oh god, that's my next thing. I've got a polyp up there, and I've got to get an injection up there, and I'm really scared.
Listen, poor Carly has to have an injection up her fanny.
I can't even. I'm laughing.
I can't cope when she told me that. It's just too much. I mean, this is the shit that women have to go through. If there's men listening, and I hope you are, go and give any women a hug, because this is really, really crap. All this crap that we have to go through. So you have to have that done soon, sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah, and I asked for, this is the thing, I asked for general anaesthetic because I have to get something cut out from up there, and they just were like, no, it's best if you're awake, it's local anaesthetic. Now I cannot imagine a man having his actual penis operated on while he's wide awake. I can't imagine that happening.
And I don't think it would. I just don't know. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I've had stuff done before, which I'll talk to you about, but they did knock me out, so I'm sad they're not knocking you out.
No, I'm sad as well. I'm actually going to email my doctor and ask for some Valium and just show up off my fucking tits. I think that's the way to go.
Get something to take home afterwards, and then I'll come round.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so that's the backstory of where I used to really not like my fanny. I used to be really embarrassed by it, and I know you've had some medical things going on as well.
Yes, I have, my love. So I've always had irregular periods, and I've always had quite bad period pains. So I don't really know really how long medically it's been going on, because I've only got it diagnosed quite recently. When I started to try and have a baby, it took us well over 1.5 years to have Lola. And we, had tests, and it was just, unexplained. It is what it is. Hopefully you'll get pregnant at some point, really helpful stuff. But she, finally we managed to have Lola, amazing. And then we tried for another one, and it just wasn't happening. Once again, I had all these horrible scans. You know what they're like, the horrible scans. They're horrible. They put like cameras up you and all sorts. It's just, and I was going through this, and I was thinking, love Will, it's not his fault, but he was not going to any of these things. Like, it was just like, oh, you can't have babies, there must be something wrong with this lady, let's get her in here and shove things up her and have a look and give her scans. And it just was also useless because I didn't find anything. And then by this point I was literally, and because you were so there for me with it all, I was literally having a period every week. And
it's horrendous. I felt so sorry for you. I just I can't imagine anything worse.
It was literally, and not to be graphic, but I was losing so much blood that I was faint. I couldn't really function. I was all over the place. Got depression anyway, and it didn't help when my hormones were all over the place. I was feeling faint. and they just didn't know what it was. So I ended up saying sod it and going private to try and see what the hell, because the NHS had taken years and weren't helping me. And the private doctor went straight in there, took me into the operating theatre, opened me up, and turns out I had huge amounts of endometriosis that had been undiagnosed for years, and that was the reason behind my infertility. So the reason why we couldn't have a second, it was a miracle that we had the first, and also behind my awful periods and all the things that came with it. And she zapped it all, got rid of it, and put a coil in, so that I honestly, since then, I feel like a different person. And
that's amazing.
It is amazing, but I'm also sad for the years that I just, like we were saying earlier, thought, oh well, I'm a woman, and then after I had that, I'm a mum, so things have probably just got a bit fucked up there, so I'll just deal with these ridiculously heavy weekly or 2 weekly periods. I'll deal with the pain, I'll deal with all that stuff, because it's just what we have to put up with. And there's actually stuff wrong with me, and I didn't even pursue it enough, and it took me ages to even go to the NHS with it, because you just thought, oh no, it's fine, I won't make a fuss, because this is just what mums or people have to go through, women have to go through.
Also, I think there's a fear element about going to doctors as well when it's anything down there, because like they'll poke and prod up there. I've had cameras up there, I've had biopsies from there, when I've had abnormal smear tests, I've had and I'm nothing special. I am pretty typical, I think. And so anything that crops up down there, you're like, oh no, I think I'll just leave it unless and see if it might not be a problem. It might be fine. And I think that that's actually very dangerous. Like as in your case, it's shown, because you end up missing out on things. And after I had, they found abnormal cells during a smear test. Oh God, it was ages ago now, maybe 7 years ago. And since then I've been pretty, that's when I started to be more open about it all.
Right.
And just more diligent about it. I remember having the cells removed, and I was in quite a lot of pain, and people were saying, oh, it's not a big deal. Even the nurses, oh, it's not a big deal, you'll walk straight out, you'll be fine. And I was in pain, and oh my God, this is going to be very graphic now, but the stuff that comes out after you've had a procedure like that is so gross, and you feel almost like appalled by your own body that it can make such minging stuff. That's
the shame about it all. You just think, oh, this is disgusting. Oh God, I'm disgusting. And then it all feeds into that, when of course it isn't. If you had something wrong with your arm, it would be oozing God knows what as well.
Oh, loads of pus coming out your arm.
Pus coming out the arm. But it's because it's about, because it's that area, we just think, oh God, oh no. And it's just got all that kind of shame around it, I think, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And that's why I think it's important to talk about. And I'm one of these people that bangs the drum about smear tests, which are horrible again, and we have to go for them. But it just, you hear so many horror stories of women who didn't bother. And you don't want to risk it.
No.
So what's your favourite thing about your fanny? Let's talk some good stuff.
Shy. I'm all right.
Don't be shy.
Thinking about the awful issues about it. What's my favourite thing about my fanny?
What do you like about it? What's it done? What does it do for you? Does it make you feel like powerful, or?
I think. Well, I tell you what. When I was giving birth, as awful as it was, and then that's another thing. Gosh, talk about that, babe. God, what it went through on that day. Bloody hell.
Tell me.
All third degree tear. So we're going.
Oh no.
It was disgusting. And I mean, literally, Lola was born, and I remember seeing my stepdad and my mum popping champagne as I was wheeled out so they could out of the room so they could sew me up in the surgery room, and I was like, ah! And then the surgeon said to me, madam, have you eaten? And I went, oh no thanks, I'm starving, what have you got? Like, he was a waiter, it was a surgeon, actual surgeon. But anyway, but yes, that day, as awful as it was with the tearing and stuff like that, I did feel like it was quite powerful, like not just the fact that it was expelling a baby, but just the muscles and the kind of the power that it did that. And I just was a bit like, what? Whoa, I didn't know I could do that.
Bodies are mental, aren't they? Bodies are mental.
I didn't do that. that. I remember feeling quite proud of my fanny that day.
Good. This is what we want, and we say that, and we're like, I'm proud. Like, don't treat yourself proud. It's great.
In a shy way, which is very silly, isn't it? So,
be proud of your
so that's
Fangita.
one thing from me. How about you? What do you love about your fanny?
Well, I haven't made any babies, so it hasn't really done a lot compared to most women.
That's not what I've heard. I've heard great things.
But this is what I'm going to say. I think orgasms that it does are wonderful. I am so thankful that it can do that.
Yes.
Because I've had some of my favourite times in my life doing that with my fanny. Whether it's just me or whether it's me and someone else helping along. And the thing I love the most about the female orgasm is there's no reason for it. There's no evolutionary reason, I should say, for it. It doesn't do anything or mean anything really, in the way that, like, obviously men, it's for making babies. There's no need for my body to do this. Literally no need. And it's evolved because I think it just wants to do it. And I think it's great.
Fun. It wants to pleasure. I love that. So you're right. Like, there's no medical reason, like with the men, to produce the sperm that produces the babies. Blah, 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 blah. It's just for the fucking fun of it and how
it's
wonderful
for fun.
Yeah.
And we love fun, and we love a jolly. I love going out. I love glamming up. I love my prosecco. I love partying hard. And the thing that I just feel like that my fanny is an extension of me doing that. And it's like, I like fun too. I'm just going to do this for fun, for no real reason other than for fun. It's lovely.
I think that's amazing. And it's Truth Club, so truth be told, I don't really love my fanny, and I've always had an issue with that, and I think this is a really good thing for me to do with you, because you're making me think, oh, it's nice, and it does do nice things. Well done.
It's doing a nice thing for you. It is. I mean, I say I love my fanny. I think I love the concept of it more than the view. I had a colposcopy, and I don't know if you've had one of those.
What is this?
Okay, it's so gross. They put a camera up there now.
Oh, I have had that, yeah.
That really put me off the look of it.
Yeah.
Really put me off. I was thinking, oh my God, how does anyone want to put their face down here? This is absolutely harrowing. I hate the view. So when I say I love it, I think I love the concept of it more than the actual look of it. But then no one's genitals look nice. Willies are gross as well. So
yeah,
they're not really there for the aesthetics.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, exactly. So you're not tempted by like vajazzling or anything like this? No,
I'm not. I actually I leave it au natural down there.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think I have an issue as well with my own hairiness, and I don't like how hairy I am, so I generally get rid of a lot of the hair down there. I prefer it like that. That's
I think that's great. I think it's great that people have options, and I don't think anyone should be judged for anything to do with it. I used to whap it all off, and actually it was just really itchy and sore when it came back in, and I felt like it sounds really horrible, but I felt like it looked like a raw chicken breast.
Yes, when the hairs come back, and that itself is not that attractive, is it? If you're thinking about chicken breasts, doesn't really get you like in the zone. I see what you mean, and I'm the same. I used to do the full Hollywood, but unless you're going to go laser or something, you're going to get hair coming back, and it is going to look a bit chicken breasty, isn't it? So I just do more of a kind of modest de-hairing down there now.
A modest trim, a modest like a little modification.
Short back and sides.
Yeah, short back and sides. I love that. Can you imagine going into a beautician and just asking for a short back and sides and whapping that like out your fangita?
I love. Yeah, speaking of like words for it, fangita, is that so? What do you call your fanny? Fanny, obviously. What else?
Obviously fanny. I like anything around the word like fajita, basically. So fangita, fangina.
Fangina.
So yeah, I think it's because I had an uncle who would just call it, a very camp uncle who used to basically say like, oh, your fangita, He's Scottish, obviously, and I don't know, it just stuck.
That's so cute. What did you your mum call it when you were little? My mum used to call our mum Mary Ann. Mary Ann, yeah.
Have you ever met anyone called Mary Ann since?
I haven't, and I would just giggle so much if I did. I'd be like, oh. Yeah, I remember her being like, right, Nick knocks off, like when we were running around the house, Nick knocks off, give you Mary Ann an airing. That's what she used to say.
Oh, they always used to try and air your Mary Ann in the 80s. Do you remember? They were always trying to air out your air. I rarely air my Mary Ann now. I don't just wander around the house airing it like I used to. My mum used to make me air it.
Did she? Oh, that's amazing. I thought it was just my mum. Oh, that's good to know. But
it's weird, isn't it?
Love them.
Well, I think it was just what was done at the time.
Well, it was, yes. I mean, make sure your child's vagina gets aired daily. That was the strict.
What did it would happen? The moths would start like nesting in it or something. Like what? Did it need so much airing? Yeah.
Bird's nest going on there, I think. Well, I think it's brilliant that we chat about this today, Carls. I think it's lifted a bit of my shame actually about that area, which has been lovely.
Good.
So and I just think generally, as you say, we're all going through, a lot of us anyway, going through some pretty crap stuff with our vaginas, fangitas.
Fangita. I quite like fangita.
Love it. And we just need to get and just talk about it and not just suffer in silence with all this crap. So I think it's great. And if you're listening and you're going through it, just have a cuddle from us.
Yeah, have a cuddle from us, and we hope that you you and your fannies are all right. And I'm just going to leave you on a tip, because I used to be quite embarrassed about it down there, especially when I was younger. And then as I got older, every time someone had to look at it, whether that was like in a sexy way or a medical way, in my head I would say, "You're welcome." And it really helped me.
You were going to say that.
I'd be like, "You're welcome."
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome, because this is my personal intimate thing. So you're welcome to see it. You're welcome. And that just helped me, especially. But I have giggled a couple of times when someone's been doing like a scan up it or something, and in my head there's like a lady with a thing, and I'm thinking, "You're welcome, darling."
They accept you. Welcome. I love it. Thank you so much for listening to episode 5 of the Truth Club podcast. We are loving it. If you are loving it too, please leave us a review and subscribe so you can listen to all our future episodes.
Congratulations! You're now a VIP member of the Truth Club. Join us on Instagram and Facebook at Truth Club Podcast. See you next time.